done that before. By the way, you flagged up how far people have travelled, and just be aware this. You get absolutely no prize whatsoever. Well, you do get a prize for actually coming onto the call. I think that in itself deserves acknowledgement, and it humbles Derek and I massively that you are on this call with us. Secondly, no, you're not going to get you're not even going to get one of Wes's books unsigned or signed. The ones that are signed obviously are significantly worth, they're worth a lot less. You're not even going to get one of those in the post because we can't be bothered to pay the postage. You travelling 2 meters down the corridor or the landing to your iPad or laptop. But Derek, the thought is there, though, isn't it?
It is. And one thing I do want to ask people, because we do want to know who's on the call with us, but if you are showing up as Samsung 65 or you're showing up as iPhone 23, you can actually click onto your photograph if you can find it, and you can change it, because we'd love to know who you are and who you represent. So we've got most people have actually managed that. Apart from Graham Harden, who's come on as a Hotmail. Graham, you might want to change that. We much prefer to know you as Graham.
No, I think that's unfortunately. Hotmail is Graham's stage name at weekends, Derek. So for that reason, I think he's going to stick with that. I'm just looking for messages coming in as well. It's 10:09, ladies and gentlemen. Derek, you're scrutinising that long list of attendees now, and it could be somebody's coming in under the guise of a completely different name, but you're going to keep a watchful eye. Okay, so I'm also conscious, ladies and gentlemen, of the value of your time and the notes, and I also want to just shed light on why we call this the stepping stones to success, building your business in the digital age. I think we've all had to embrace this new technology. We've all had to get used to it. I think some people have resisted. I might be one of those, I don't know. But it's futile. We've got to embrace it. It's certainly working for so many people of all age groups. It's not just the prerogative of the under 30s, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There are lots of other people who are benefiting and being involved with this incredible new technology. The company has gifted us the ability to remote sign up, the ability to build our businesses remotely, and I don't think that's ever going to change. We might come back to face-to-face to some degree or other in the future. Absolutely, that is kind of understandable. Some people yearn for that. But at the same time, the efficiency of time usage, the efficiency of being able to jump around the country seamlessly via Zoom or some other medium is now beyond question. So let's not try and turn the clock back in that respect. Stepping Stones to Success is a program that Derek has created, and he's trialled it with certain areas of his team very successfully. And what we're going to do is, as from Saturday next week, so a week today, we're going to be launching Derek's Stepping Stones to Success program, and it will, in essence, take 4 weeks, 4 consecutive Saturdays to fulfill. And you're free to deliver it yourselves. You're free to analyse it. You're free to come on those calls. There are obviously no charges, nothing embedded in that respect at all. This is stuff that is very basic, but very simple, but very effective in terms of material. So we will allude to it a little bit today, but the Stepping Stones to Success specifically will be something that we will talk about a week on Saturday, a week today. Great stuff. So Derek, we have got amongst us, we've got Andrew Lindsay. So I guess you've unmuted Andrew, Derek, because otherwise you and I are both in trouble again. So off you go, Derek. Please introduce yourself.
Just like to welcome Andrew, who's taken time out today. I don't know where he's hidden the children because they're a lot noisier than that. So has Amy taken them out for a walk, Andrew?
They're next door making pancakes because it's the first wet day that we've had for ages, and so rather than getting out and about, they are in the garden. They are being entertained indoors. But it's very nice to be here, and thank you very much for having me. And thank you very much for the Ant and Dec show, Robin and Derek, for the last 10 minutes, which has been, well, I'm not sure Ant and Dec need to worry. Anyway.
So I didn't realise you've actually been listening in just with great amusement, thinking, and then you probably came in under a pseudonym, and you thought, right, I'll just listen to what they waffle on about for 10 minutes as we kind of introduce you. And there it was, Derek suggesting you were walking around some glen when that was absolute twaddle. But there we go. Anyway, Andrew, it's a delight to have you here, and you are amongst 334, including a few pets and partners and other family members, probably about 350 people. So brilliant to have you here.
Well, it's a real treat to be here, and thank you very much. I mean, I think the one thing I would massively endorse from what Robin was just saying back then was the speed and efficiency of all these new tools that we've now got. You know, how many of you listening to what's ahead for you in terms of these stepping stones to success sessions over the next Saturdays? How many of you would sort of go in the normal course event? My goodness, I can't do that. I've got to drive somewhere for an hour, spend 3 hours having or 2 hours having a sort of coaching, and then drive home. That's half my day gone for 4 Saturdays in a row. And now actually it's much easier to do that. So I'm super excited about what the lockdown has done for us in terms of moving us forward into a digitally enabled business. But actually more important than that right now is just quite how well so many of you have adapted to it all, and how well you've done in terms of, you know, dealing with lockdown, dealing with social restriction, because by definition, all of you are social animals. You are Team Purple, true and true. And the one thing that you thrive on is social interaction. And yet, throughout the last difficult 3 months, you've shown such amazing colours. So I'm so proud to be involved with UW at the moment, but I'm so proud of what all of you guys and your peers around the country, have achieved and delivered, and the sort of resilience that you've shown. So I want to start off with a massive thank you very much to you all for what you've done, and for how you've got us to where we are today, which is incredibly well placed for the future. Robin and Derek asked me to talk about the results that we had last week. I was out in the city updating our investors on the financial year that ended in March, and I'm not going to go through sort of line by line or anything like that. Suffice to say that on almost every metric we beat any previous records in terms of how many customers we've got, how many services we supply, what our turnover is, what our profitability is, and that's a great place to be. That we are in really sound health as a business, and the investors are really interested in us. They're really excited by what they see from us. And that's something I'll talk about in a moment. But what does it mean for the 45,000 members of Team Purple? What does it mean for the 350 people on this call, all of you at home? Well, it's great that the company's doing this, and it's great that this record has been broken. But actually, why is that interesting to you? And the key point here is that the business that you are partnered with is in really strong financial health. And that is something that it's very easy to take for granted. But when something like coronavirus comes along, and you suddenly see lots of businesses having real financial stress, you know, people being laid off left, right, and centre. Look at the airlines. Look at, in due course, a lot of the hospitality industry. You know, they're going to be in real trouble, and that is something that this business absolutely is not. It's financially strong. It's run in a very prudent way, which means that we don't take big risks, and so you can know that the income that you're building, that long-term residual income that is so unique to UW, really is a long-term residual income. It isn't something that might disappear because I or one of the other directors of the business makes a bad decision. We are running this business in a very aligned way, so that whatever value you build up through signing up customers, through building your teams, isn't just going to be here for a few years, but it's going to be here for generations. And that is something that I hope that you take massive confidence from as a backdrop for all of your everyday actions to building your UW business. That you know that you're partnered with a really strong, really sustainable business that isn't going to disappear in a puff of smoke like a lot of businesses already have, and many more are going to over the coming months as the sort of reality of coronavirus hits. And I think that it's a bit sort of what's the word? It's a bit depressing, but I want to speak for a couple of minutes just about what coronavirus means for all of us. So take it as read that we are a financially strong and sustainable business through coronavirus. Actually, the coronavirus is going to have a much bigger impact on all 350 of us here, and all 45,000 partners who are currently with Team Purple, and the tens of thousands of partners that I believe are going to join. And the reason for that is twofold. The first is that and it all relates to the sort of economic recession that we're very firmly headed into. What does that mean? There are two things. The first is that more and more people are going to struggle to pay their bills, and that's just a reality that we all have to face up to. It's not something that we rub our hands with glee about. It's something that we are well positioned to help customers with. But we are, as a business, let's say, financially strong enough to withstand a number of our customers not paying us. We've built the business to be able to withstand that pressure. That is not the case at all for all the other new entrants into the energy markets. They are simply not prepared in any way, shape or form for a whole load of people suddenly not paying. And in a business like energy, a marketplace like energy, one or two customers not paying their bills knocks out the profitability of hundreds of customers that do pay their bills, because it's a tricky marketplace. So we are looking forward and seeing, actually, as the furlough scheme ends, as the self-employment support ends, the government-backed schemes to help people through coronavirus end over the autumn, there are going to be many more people who are unable to pay their bills. Now that will impact us, but it's going to impact the rest of the energy industry an awful lot more. And that means that they are going to have to behave differently. And the one thing that we are strongly anticipating, and we're already beginning to see the trends of, is that they're going to be pricing much less aggressively. So, already the bottom of the market, the cheapest tariffs in the market are creeping up. They're creeping up despite the fact that wholesale costs are falling. So they're behaving in a very different way. And that's all very interesting. What does it mean? It means that UW is going to be, over the autumn and over the winter, becoming more and more competitive in terms of the energy tariffs that we offer. We will be going out with some of the very best tariffs in the market consistently, rather than having some outfox the market, or Nabu Energy, or one of all these small businesses nipping away at our heels with very low pricing. That is not sensible, not sustainable, and now that's been timed out. So that's an exciting direction of travel for us. I would anticipate that if you look forward 12 months from now, we could very easily be the which Best Buy mobile provider, the which Best Buy broadband provider, the cheapest energy tariff in the market for a double bill customer. And suddenly go, wow, that is a fantastic place to be, to go out and help customers or help prospects to really save proper money when they need to save money, and give them all the benefits of what UW offers in terms of the simplicity of a single bill and unparalleled service. So that's something that we anticipate happening. We're beginning to see it, and it is worth just looking at our energy pricing. There's a sort of little piece in the back of everyone's mind that says perhaps we're not very competitive. On our double gold fixed price tariff at the moment, it's all green electricity. It's got the added benefit of daffodil, but the price that gives is absolutely down there with the very cheapest tariffs in the marketplace. It really is incredibly good value at the moment, much better than it has been for the last few years, and that's something that I hope gives you the confidence to get out and talk to people, and it's only going to get better. The second reason that Corona is going to be interesting for us is that we are uniquely placed as Team Purple to help those tens and tens of thousands of families who are in trouble or knocked for six in terms of their income by Corona. And I don't want to be the doom monger here, but there is an estimate at the moment that 25% of people that have been furloughed are going to be made redundant. That's something that is beginning to become common parlance in government. 25% of 9 million people is one heck of a lot of people, and that it is before we even talking about the 3 million or so people, the self-employed people who have been given support as well. This is not a nice place to be, but we, as a nation, we have an answer for all of those people. We have an income opportunity, particularly through Quick, that enables us to go forth and say, we are here to help people get back on their feet. We're here to help the nation right itself after the coronavirus. And that is something that we should take very, very seriously. It's not a case of, I've got this strange income opportunity that you might want to hear about. It's, you actually probably need to hear about about this, I've got something amazing to talk to you about. Not amazing because it can help you achieve your dreams, amazing because it can help you solve the problems that you are facing right here and right now in terms of making ends meet. So that again, we are on track in June to sign up around 1,500 partners. In May that was 1,300 partners. In April it was 1,200 partners. We are just recruiting more and more people, and I would urge you all to look to the next 12 months, not as an opportunity to make lots of money, but an opportunity to get out there and help people get back on their feet, as many people as you can to get back on their feet. And the byproduct of helping people is that you're going to change your long-term financial future through UW. And I think the way to summarize all of that is just through an analogy which might help bring this home to roost. In the last recession in 2007 and 8, two businesses were established that are now total household names, and they are Uber and they are Airbnb. And they both were established by entrepreneurial people who said, I can see that there are many people who want conditional income, and I have an idea of a product that there's huge demand for from customers. One is taxis and one is hotels or bedrooms or Airbnb. And they merged those two things, demand for a customer product that was high with demand for an income opportunity, and they both created these enormous global businesses in a decade. And we are sitting here now today, entering a new recessionary environment. We have a product that every single household in the UK can benefit from, that every single household in the UK already has. So we have that massive demand for our customer product, and we have an income opportunity that is totally different to where it was in the last recession, because we've now got Quip, and we can give people the ability to earn £1,000 in their first month if they really go at UW, or £2,000 or £3,000 if they really want to go for it. And that is something that it takes effort. It's not easy. It's a hard slog to become a successful UW partner. But my goodness, we are sitting on facing this big wave of demand for an income opportunity. And if we catch that wave, and that's something that the team at Network HQ are absolutely focused on, and I want to get all the team purple and you focused on. If we catch that wave, then we're going to take UW from where it is today, which is a fantastic, strong business, to something totally unrecognizable, more akin, not in terms of profitability, but more akin to Uber or Airbnb. And that is the opportunity that is in front of all of us now, and every single person on this call can play an important and critical role in it, and play their part in catching that wave, and looking back in 5 years' time and going, my goodness, I totally changed my fortunes and the fortunes of my family through getting stuck in and digging my well now, rather than waiting for years to come. So I think that what I'm really excited about, bringing it back from the big picture to here and now, is exactly what's happening today. This is the start of a 4-week course of sort of stepping stones to success. It's the leadership of Team Purple. You are fortunate to be in a team where the leaders are stepping in, they're setting up the coaching for you, they're building programs for you. The message is to practice and practice and practice. Understand how big the opportunity is for you as an individual. Understand that the fundamentals of UW have changed because the energy markets are opening up, because there are going to be many more people wanting to hear about the income opportunity. And then practice and practice and practice. And absolutely, I believe face-to-face or mask in the short term is going to come back to face-to-face. And that tried and tested model is going to come back into play. But at the same time, if we can really push forward, and if everyone on this call can equip themselves through practicing to be able to do digital remote sign-ups, as Robin says, to be supported and support new team members through remote supporting, and then bring back the old face-to-face, then we're going to blow the roof off. So that's my message. Please practice. Please don't get daunted by new technology. You've all logged on today. You're already, by definition, same embracing attitude to remote sign-ups. It's a pivotal point in the history of the business, and you're all in exactly the right place, and you're showing exactly the right willing by being on here today. So have a great day. Please take notes. Please remember to practice, 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 and practice makes progress, and progress is what we're all after. So have a fantastic day. Robin, Derek, thank you for setting it up, and everybody, I will see you anon on stage, in reality, hopefully soon. But meantime, it's fantastic to be with you today.
Andrew, thank you so much for sparing time on your Saturday, your busy family time as well, for being on the call. And also, what you've done delightfully is preempt a lot of the topics that we're going to be covering today in very short order. Remote sign-ups, supporting people, that community, helping people, maybe our moral obligation in terms of building this business, but also building the future of Britain as well. Thank you very much, Andrew. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us sweepingly along to the next speaker. And I think he's primed there in the wings. And the great thing about Zoom is, ladies and gentlemen, people can limber up in the comfort of their own home. And I think we've got Lloyd with us, haven't we, Derek? Is he somewhere there?
We have got Lloyd with us. It was difficult finding him because he's come under some pseudo name, something to do with football. And
developing. Do you know, Derek, I said that in order to kind of pre-warn Lloyd, but at the same time, in the full knowledge that thinking, you know, Lloyd has had a really, really busy, sensational week, like so many others on here. And I'm not usually, first of all, I'm not factional, and secondly, my knowledge of football is limited. But this isn't just football. This is a culture. This is Lloyd's raison d'être, his primary motivation reasons for being involved with the business in the first place, because his love and passion for football, and specifically Liverpool, is worldwide in terms of known. Lloyd, are you there? Are you still? Have you slept at all?
I am here. I've not been doing much sleeping recently. Been watching lots of videos and lots of moments from over the last 30 years. So it's been a fantastic time. I am here, alive and raring to go.
Fantastic. So you're not speaking to us. Oh, and I see subtly placed on the top of your bookshelf display cabinet there is Liverpool something or other. So that
again, notice that. Fantastic.
Yeah. I know. I'm surprised you're not. That's not a Liverpool shirt. That's not like a shirt.
No, this isn't. No. Really. Okay. Yeah, I can show you the camera. There's all sorts of stuff.
Memorabilia. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people know Lloyd. He's a great friend to all of us. He's somebody who is always able to provide sound counsel, particularly when it comes to stats, facts, and detail. He loves a graph or two. The spreadsheet is kind of almost his middle name. But let's reflect, if you will, Lloyd, on the financial statement and also the annual results. I know Andrew alluded to them. It would be a delight to have your take on all this. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most successful senior group leaders in the business, with one of the largest teams as well. So Lloyd Daly.
Yes, good morning everyone, and delighted to be on here and looking forward to some fantastic information from the team. And it's worth noting that the fact that you're actually on here on Saturday morning already puts you in the elite group of people in terms of partners in the business. So well done there. And although I want to talk a little bit and touch about the finances, I don't want to do so from the view of any sort of financial expert or anything like that. This is just me as a partner, how I see things and what I think it means to the network. And, Robin mentioned Liverpool. Now, I remember 23 years ago when I joined the business, I actually met up with Robin and Rod Bowden at, was it the Lord Dearsbury, somewhere in Cheshire and stuff like that, on my way to a Liverpool match. Because I lived in North London, Robin lived in North Wales, and I thought, well, I'll come down to the match, and we met there. So, yeah, and if you look at the finances of the company, that should give huge posture and business, you've got the profitability, very strong dividend policy, and low debt, and not wanting to again go into detail. How I use that is for it to give me great sort of confidence and knowledge that the business is going in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, this is a long, medium-term venture for most of us. And at the end of the day, by remaining in the business and recruiting and building your network, time will win out. Okay, and we've seen that this week with Liverpool. Sorry to mention Liverpool again. 30 years since Liverpool last won the league. In fact, it's the first time Liverpool won the league since I've been in the business. So, we've seen European Cups, we've seen other things and whatever. But it's almost like that's the residual income side, and the cups and whatever's the holidays and the cars and all that sort of stuff which we benefit from in our business. And if we focus on some of those things, then we'll get to the end goal, which is a huge financial residual income, which is what we want. And one of the things that strikes me, and from day one of that business, is the recruiting aspect of it. And we're going to hear from some people who are great at recruiting. But I just want to, emphasize about building your network and going and sharing the opportunity with other people, especially in today's environment and today's strange time. And if I look at my business, and there's lots and lots of leaders in the business, lots of SPLs and stuff like that, and of leadership level, I think, you don't have to recruit them all yourself. Okay, that would be the message I give, because there's lots of people in the business who built fantastic businesses within my team, but I didn't recruit them. All I went to do is continue to share the opportunity, share the strength of the business, and allow them to build their own business. And when you're doing that, and when you've got the backing of the company with its financial strength, it makes it much, much easier. You don't have to worry about the services. You don't have to worry about all these sort of things. Does that mean nothing will go wrong? No, absolutely not. We're in business. This is the real world. We have ups and downs, and we just have to ride those waves. And something happened recently, actually, which sort of brought that all home to me. So I did a welcome call this week, and as is normal, and the great young man in IT, really now, I think he's just been made redundant, looking to secure his future. And I asked him about if he had some appointments set up and stuff like that, and he said, yeah, he's got some appointments set up because he wants to see if the business works. Okay, that's what his words. He wants to see if the business works. And I had to respect years ago when we recruited Derek into the team. And many of you will know Derek's story. Derek's story is very much one of not following the system, not listening, wanting to go his own way. And I know Robin and I had many a conversation about how do we sort of like guide them in the right way. And that's what we have to do with them. You know, we have to treat them with respect and love and say, look, we want the best for you, and this is what we advise you to do. So the message as I finish here is one: don't focus too much on the details. Go out there and recruit others into the business, because you never know where that will lead. And some people, I think Robin alluded to Graham Harden having been there, but Graham Harden is in the team. And that particular leg started 20 years ago on a rainy Saturday morning in northwest London. And then 10 levels down, here comes Graham Harden, 500 plus star group lead there. That leg, that's 7,000. The original person isn't in the business anymore. You know, so then it didn't really work out. So that's my message. It's short and sharp. Go out, build a network, recruit, and give the team members like Jurgen Klopp plenty of hugs, love them to bits, and have great belief in them. So if you're happy, thank you very much for listening. And I think I'm now introducing the next speaker. Is that right, Robin?
Yes, you are.
So, yes, you are. I think he's primed, ready.
Okay.
Is that right, Darren?
Absolutely.
Yes, it's seamless, ladies and gentlemen. It's seamless.
Fantastic.
This Zoom.
So part of what we're talking about the last